Tasha, thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me.
Anytime. You know, I've wanted to do like a girlfriend type podcast for a long time.
Yes.
And I've been begging you to come do a podcast.
And I'm here.
Because I've been wanting people to see who my associations are, like who, I associate myself with so they can understand, me more. Because like I was just telling you before the podcast started, I was like, I envy you. And you was like, don't.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm like, no, but I really do envy you. Because like, look at you, like you're like, every time I see you, like skin is just on brightness, you know, cheekbones.
Thank you.
I mean, the energy, the hair, your teeth, like just your family, like
Tasha.
your children. And like, you guys know that I am a health and wellness kind of holistic plant-based enthusiast. Okay. My lifestyle, like it doesn't allot me the comfortability to be able to be at home and make vegan meals all the time, or to be able to heal my children, you know, or become a master herbalist or a certified womb. What is it called? A certified womb practitioner, you know, and give home births and help people to relieve themselves of anxiety and depression and, you know, just all sorts of things that we go through as a people, but specifically women, because a lot of times women, we are the last to eat, the last to just really take care of ourselves. Everybody is asleep before us.
Yes, absolutely.
You know? And so that's why I said I envy you, because like you get to do it full time.
Well, it was not always that way. You know, it took me a while to really understand what divine feminine energy is. And so when we are single parents and we're operating with so many different positions and wearing so many different hats, I've been the masculine energy, I've been the feminine energy, I've been all of that, you know. So it took me a long time in this season in my life to find out what is divine feminine energy and how do you stay in that energy, flow in that energy, and just accept your position. And it's challenging to connect with that energy. Some of us don't even know that energy exists. What is that?
I listen,
you know,
it comes up every about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like, what is that? You know?
Because I'm constantly in like a masculine type energy, masculine role. If I'm not yelling at staff, yelling at kids, yelling at the husband, managing projects, you know, it's just every which way. So it's just like, how do you stay in that divine feminine energy and always just live in it to where, you know, because I don't ever see, like, I could never see anyone calling you like masculine or you're too manly or you're too aggressive.
It's there.
I don't know now. I don't know, Cece. Like,
because you gotta realize, like, even when we look at the goddess, okay, let's speak of the goddess energy. Okay, that's it's duality. It's not just one feminine energy. It's the energy, the masculine energy and the feminine energy. It's being able to master yourself, to be able to know when the appropriate time is to release that energy. So even though we wear a lot of hats, we're bosses, you know, we moving around, we doing different things, it doesn't say that the feminine energy is not there. We just have to organize our time to be able to let that energy rise a little bit more, to even balance with the masculine energy. And in some cases, people can actually allow it to, you know, override the masculine energy that they have. So it's there. It's just time. One of the things that I do is in terms of like self-love, self-care. So I laugh at myself when it comes to that, because I'm like, when I rise in the morning, like I have, you know, children, and I get them together if they're not in school, and if it's over the summer where I can just get my day started without having to get them started for school. The first 2 hours, it goes into my self-love. It may even go from like 8 in the morning to noon.
No way.
Yes.
You get 2 hours by yourself.
I'm juicing. I'm meditating. I'm doing facial steams. I'm centering all of those first hours when I rise, it goes to me. Because
that's why I said I envy you, girl.
Before I get my day started, like it cannot go to anyone else, because it's like, how am I going to be successful in this day if my internal being is not aligned? And I'm talking about mind, body, and spirit. What I put in my body, and what I put on my body, what I take into my mindset. So it's a complete lifestyle.
Do you get up before the children get up, or do you wait till you get them off?
I do rise before they do.
So you rise like 2 to 3 hours before they do?
I would say about 2 hours before they do.
Okay.
So 2 hours before they rise, and then once I get them situated, I come home and I continue it. So once I get them situated, I may go for a walk. I'll come home. I'll get my juicing together. I get my raw foods prepared for whatever meals. And that's only because my diet now is the way that it is. But, I'm preparing because it takes time. It really does. But it's a regimen that we can create based on what it is that we desire for our self-care regimen. So with me, that's just what I do. And then I also do it before I lie down, in the evening. So yes, I definitely do it when I get them situated and, when I rise.
So what time do your kids go to bed?
8.
So the last 2 hours, like 8 to 10, is just you time.
It's me. Mm-hmm.
So where does the husband fit in that? Because like mine be like, soon as I even turn the corner,
right?
You already know what's going down. Like I'm just be like, can I brush my teeth, please?
Right. Well, I would say when we're married, right? Mm-hmm. Our husband have to, if he's aligned with himself, he wants you to align in your feminine energy, because most times he don't want you to wear, the pants he wear. He wants you to be able to stay in your divine feminine energy. So in terms of, how do I incorporate my husband? It really just, we do our husbands a big favor by staying in our divine feminine energy. Whatever that looks like, he can see the work being done. Mm-hmm. That will trickle to him. You see what I'm saying? I remember.
I see what you're saying now. Mm-hmm. I see what you. But go ahead, and I'm gonna jump in. Go ahead,
because I remember speaking about how self-love day, and so what it is that I created a self-love day. So when I identify that self-love day, it may be on Sundays, it may be just a day I decide to take. I share with my entire family, look, this is my self-love day. So don't task me with anything. Don't ask me for anything. Everyone understands, because they know how many hats I wear in the family, how valuable that I am in the family. I work for the tribe. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they know, oh no, it's her self-love day today. Don't take that day out so you can fill your cup to be able to support your husband, support your children, even be a better boss in your business, or, work the position that you may work, at your job. So it's just identifying that time and not really looking at that time. A lot of people sometimes, the weekend. Mm-hmm. It can't just be the weekend, because all week. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're working all week, so you can't wait to fill your cup on the weekend. By that time, you're exhausted. You're ready to fill your cup up, and most times it's not in the healthiest way. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So if we're practicing self-love every day, we know that what we're doing is we're constantly self-love is a lifestyle. It's not just a self-love Sunday or one day. It's a lifestyle. So every single day we have to be pouring into ourselves.
So what is like a day of like what you would like, because I know in the morning you get up, you rise 2 hours, you're juicing, you're doing raw foods diet, take the kids to school, you come back and you continue that. Because I used to do that, and I still do it sometimes when I have those moments to where I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to work, I'm not doing anything, I'm waking up, and it's hard for me to just be like, you know what, I'm not doing nothing today but me. That's like, right. And I say that, like, I'm not doing nothing but me. And I'll get in the kitchen, half the time we ain't got no food, so I gotta go get some fresh food, you know. And I'm like, I'm cooking, I'm going to the beach, I'm biking, I'm doing all this because I need it. And if I don't get it, I start getting angry, right? And so, like, what is a typical self-love day for you, besides the morning regimen that you already have going on, look like?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that question. That's a good question because I get creative with it. So some days it may be going to get a colonic.
Oh,
I'm big on wellness. I'm big on detoxifying my body and keeping my body clean. So, of course, the colon needs to be clean. You know, depending on what we're eating, we need to keep our body clean. So I'll go to get a colonic. I may go to the spa. I may just go to the park. I may ride my bike. I may stay at home and do some journaling. You know, I don't work, though. I'm not going to do laundry and work around the house. That never goes away.
That's a part of my self-love.
Yeah, see that.
When I get to do laundry, because I get my best ideas when I'm folding these clothes, like, yeah. Oh, I can feel the energy.
Yeah. And that has its place, too. Yeah. But I'm not using my self-love day for that because, again, the work never goes away.
It never
goes away. Right. So I'm not even incorporating. I remember telling my mom, I said, I want to book you an appointment to the spa. I said, and to get a massage, I went to this Black-owned masseuse. She has a really nice business. I said, when I book this, I don't want you taking your girlfriends with you because, you know, they do a lot of things together. I want you to do this by yourself. You have got to receive and have the experience by yourself. You're able to download so much just sitting with yourself and having some alone time. It's necessary. So it's not like, okay, we work all week. Now I owe the children time. Now I owe no, you owe yourself time. This is why we're getting frustrated. This is why we're going off on our children, you know, yelling at our children, getting, you know, upset with our husband for various things instead of being able to balance and master our energy, even in times that makes us frustrated. We don't have to be when we center ourselves, when we our inner self is centered. So that can be done through meditation, simply, like I said, a self-love day, knowing that your cup is full. When you fill your cup, you can respond a lot different to circumstances or situations that you know, don't want to be in or that affects you. So yeah, I definitely understand, you know, the frustration, things like that, but we have to definitely look at the bigger picture and saying, okay, when we, you know, pour into ourselves, we can then give back to others. We can then respond. Because what you were saying, that fire, it's in me, the masculine energy.
I feel like that's what I'm running on 90% of the time. I'm like,
it is there, and I'm an Aries.
Yes.
So that's a fire sign. Like but I say, you know what? I have to keep myself balanced because in this season, I say season instead of age. I have to show up differently. Not for anybody else, but for myself. See, this not about nobody. This is about me. I'm telling you, it's sometimes we say, how can we be a better parent? How can we be a better wife? Or a man might say, how can I be a better parent? How can I be a better husband? How can you be a better you to you first?
I have never asked myself that. I have always asked myself, how can I be a better mother? How can I be a better wife? How can I be a better friend? How can I be a better businesswoman? I have never said, how can I be a better me? I automatically encompass that into me being a better me, but forgetting that me is what is me. And like I was just saying to I was saying to myself, because I've been spending a lot of times normally, like, you know, I look forward to like folding clothes or doing things that require me to be in silence and solitude, without music on or the phone on. And I just, those folding clothes allows me to like download so many things, right? But it's like, but I'm able to duel and do kill two birds in one stone, right? And so as I'm downloading while folding clothes the other day, and I love to get on my floors and I love to scrub my floors on my knees. My daughter tells me all the time, like, Mom, why won't you just use a Swiffer jab? Because the floors ain't clean. You got to get on your knees and get in the cracks, get that to me, cleanliness, pureness, white sheets, white towels, white walls. That is how I stay pure. If I got to see the pureness.
The palate's got to be right.
It's feeling
That's first and foremost.
Right. And so I was saying to myself, downloading, I was like, I don't think that I've really shown the world who I am. And it scared me. And I got that just by spending that a long time scrubbing the floors and mopping it. And I was like, well, what are you trying to say to yourself, Tasha? Because I said, I've given them such a small portion of myself. And and in my work and in my family, a lot of times it doesn't, I'm not reflecting 1000% who I am. I only show them kind of a portion of me of what makes them comfortable. Right? Even though sometimes it makes me a little uncomfortable, right? And that could be with like, they'll, like my husband, I'm like, okay, I'm plant-based all month. Right? I'll dabble with the fish and stuff sometime, but he'll be like, well, I'm craving jerk chicken right now or KFC. And to me, I'm like, all right, so when I'm out shopping, I'll go ahead and grab the chicken and I don't want to even touch it because like, to me, it's like, I'm touching flesh and I'm trying to purify myself. You know what I'm saying? And then, I have this huge platform and I'm like, I don't feed my viewers enough of the things that I watch and download for myself.
That's right. Yes.
All the science, the health, the technology, the wellness, the people that I encounter, that I have conversations with. You know what I'm saying? That helped to remind me, because I had meditated in it 2 years until I saw you last, and you was like, you need to meditate. And I was like, I ain't got time to meditate, Cece. And you was just like, you're going to meditate. And I meditated, and I've been meditating, and I'm like, damn, you were so right.
Needed it.
Because I'm thinking of meditation for me is just chanting, because I chant. I'm Buddhist, right?
I like that though.
But it was you reminding me, some way. You didn't say bitch or anything, but it was kind of like, I took it like, bitch, you need to meditate.
Just centering ourselves.
So that to me, I just kind of had to put that out. And so like, and then, the husband seeing the divine feminine energy, me making him every morning for the last 2, maybe 3 months, a plant-based breakfast. Now he's waking up like, you got my breakfast for me? Absolutely.
Beautiful.
I love it.
See?
I love it.
That's what it is. It's going to trickle. It's like a domino effect. It's going to trickle to the children, to the husband. And that's all. And for the most part, I would say this too. When we meditate, meditation is a tool to allow us to master our mind. First of all, it allows us to master our thoughts. So when we master our thoughts, we can control pretty much anything. It's very powerful when you can master your thoughts, because our mind can chatter. It can go anywhere. And it leads to a lot of things. It leads to stress. It leads to anxiety. It leads to so many panic attacks. And I'm gonna go back on that, but I want to share this experience with a sister that that called.
Okay.
And she said she was just a little overwhelmed, and I didn't realize that when she called, she was actually going through a panic. She was having a panic attack when she called. And she was like, Cece, I need to talk to you. I was like, but I could hear the anxiety and the frustration. I'm like, okay, first of all, sis, this is what we're going to do. Before I start even, let's take a breath. Calm down. Okay? Let's just breathe. Let's just breathe. Nothing's going on. We don't have to be frustrated. Nothing is going on. Just breathe. I said, take a deep breath. She took a deep breath. I said, okay. I did a short breathing meditation, deep breathing meditation with her. And I said, don't talk. Now, for 5 minutes, I'm going to stay on the phone. You do it on your own. Relax. She did a breathing meditation. And she started talking. I said, okay, how do you feel? She said, oh my God, I feel so better. Thank you. You know, she's praying, thank you. I said, no, you did that. I said, there's nothing going on in this moment. You're at home. You're sitting down. Nothing is going on. Relax. The thing with people that have anxiety and go into panic attacks, they're living in the future and sometimes in the past. They're not living in the present moment.
That's the truth, Cece.
The mind, the chatter is so much chaos that the body goes into overdrive because the balance is not in harmony. The mind is in one place, the balance is one. It's so much going on. And so when we master, that's why meditation is good. When we master our mind and master our thoughts, we can control that. Nope, I'm not going there. I'm not going to allow, no, nothing is going on. I'm just about to fix it. Nobody's harming you. Nothing is going on. Relax. I used to get, do consultations with sisters around panic and anxiety all the time. It wasn't until I experienced one where I could now be an expert to support sisters when they have these issues. So I would say, well, we'll do this, do that based on my knowledge, but it's not like experience. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't take medical treatment. It takes a person being centered and mastering themselves. And that's just with one issue, which is anxiety and panic attacks, even stress. A lot of times we know what's causing stress. Sometimes we don't. Many times we do. And so when we go within ourselves and understand and pause a little bit, that's where that self-love come in. Pause for a second. You know what? That is honoring and respecting yourself so much to where it's like when you continue to do the work with yourself and see how much time and you see the progress and the development that you go through, you're not going to be in a toxic relationship. You're not going to eat toxic food. I'm saying it's certain steps you're going to take to make sure that your body stays in that balance. I remember sitting at the feet of an elder, and he said, we are so used to being in our pain body. He said, we are so used to being in our pain body. Our pain body, and what I take is that the pain body becomes the norm. We forget what it feels like to be trigger-free, pain-free, stress-free, depression, cussing and just, we think that's the norm. You see what I'm saying? Pain body is being in your pain body is being free from all of that. So we forget, we don't even know what it feels to just be normal again, whole, healthy, and in alignment, mind, body, and spirit. And so we continue the same lifestyle that leads to our pain. I'm saying this because I know through experience. You see what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
You
speaking my language.
Yes, I mean, it took me a second to really realize what I wanted and what I desire for my future. Okay, so in this season, I kind of, be around a lot of elders. So I'm around my mom and her friends. They're in their 50s, they're in their 60s, and I'm looking and I'm like, wow, they really know how to party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I want to be able to do that, but I want to be able to do it and do it healthy. I want to be healthy doing it, because still, in some senses, our elders are still dealing with some things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I remember when I had my first anxiety, experience and panic. I said, what is that? I don't like that. And this is when I was quote unquote vegan. That's why I don't like words, those labels. I said, what is going on? I have healed myself. I have healed my children. I have changed our lifestyle, our products, our everything. Where'd that come from? I thought I was healthy. So I said, I got to take this a step further. And this ain't about to have nothing to do with nobody else in my life. This is right here is personal. People, places, and things. You got to examine everything in your life to be free. Some things is going to have to go, unfortunately.
What did you have to get rid of at that moment when everything around you is just so and your perspective pure, but yet your body is because when you have panic attacks, it's sick. It's your body warning you something in your environment is wrong.
That's right.
Something's going on. You need to fix it.
That's right.
I had my first panic attack when I was 17 years old. And I didn't know what it was until they wheeled me, and I'm thinking I'm having a heart attack because, everybody around me was having a heart attack for real, So I'm like, why am I having a heart attack? I'm skinny. What's going on? They was like, no, you had a panic attack. I'm like, what is that? They gave me no information. I had to go home. And it was the scariest feeling in the world because I'm like, my heart, and my ears started ringing, and my pins and needles all over my body, and it was this cold feeling, and I felt like I was just dying, like
literally.
You don't know, and imagine being 17 and you don't know,
right.
And
especially
and so like what did you like? What was it that you had to get rid of at that moment?
You know what, Tasha? I did a complete 360. A lot of things. I got rid of, so going back to, because I didn't know what it was. So I had to take inventory of everything. I said, okay, what I do know from the work that I do as a herbalist and a nutritionist, I know that one thing that the first thing I can do is switch up what I'm eating. So we have different levels to like vegan, and no, I'm not doing any packaged foods. You see what I'm saying? Because again, it's made in laboratory. I want to be able to control everything that goes into my divine being.
Okay.
At this point, I want to be able to control everything. So I'm not doing anything unless it is directly working with a plant. So my green fruit, my green vegetables, all of my fruits is gotta start there, because I know, not believe or have faith. I know that my food is my healing and my medicine. Okay. And I'm healing at this point. So I know that I can't just take in anything. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Once I did inventory on that, I looked at all relationships. Every relationship, not just one or two. Everybody has to be examined. I had conversations with everybody, and the understanding was there. But then also, I looked at myself. So I don't never exclude myself from anything. How did you get to this place? Because like you said, it's a signal. It's saying something is going on. How did you get to this place? And so for me, I always say I work for the tribe. Mm-hmm. I go over and beyond with my family. Like, literally, whenever you need help, And I had to say to myself, I knew that I was constantly overextending myself. This was before I identified the self-love days. Mm. You see what I'm saying? This was everything prior to, the new me. Okay. And so I knew that I was like overextending myself, working with, but I just noticed my energy level had started going down, and I was like, what is going on? Change my eating, change my lifestyle completely. It's levels to the holistic lifestyle. Mm-hmm. It's levels to it. So now I'm more so juices, water, fruits, vegetables. I rarely eat cooked food. When I do, it's nothing but vegetables. And this is just what I choose because this is what makes me feel good. Okay. And so it was a lot of things that I had to change to be able to find and that balance, to be able to say to myself, well, this is, when I started noticing when I started feeling better, I said, okay, it's certain foods, because I would keep a journal. Certain foods.
And you were that detailed.
Certain foods were triggers. Sugar, pasta, certain foods that would be, I guess, depending on where you at in your journey of getting off of me, so I had to let go of these foods. So I was already done with like the dairy, the meat and things like that. But when I would eat sugar, it would just really, it's said that sugar is like, they equate it to drugs at this point.
Oh, it's addictive. It is. Yeah, it's addictive. I had a sugar addiction so bad in my early 20s. In order for me to not eat sugar that I saw, I had to put it in the trash and pour bleach on it. And even sometimes, the addiction was so strong, I would eat around where I didn't pour the bleach at.
Wow. See?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. So a
when
lot
I tell you,
of
I don't fuck with that shit.
I
do not fuck with that shit.
Wow.
I know what it's like, and I never forget. And listen, I was the only person that to me that I knew had this issue until I saw this white lady. And this is why I love white people. Because white people, they're gonna tell you the truth. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Black people are gonna be like, I ain't never did no shit like that. And it's like, you're lying. White lady said, kid you not, it was like myself, look like she's doing it, and she said she had cancer real bad. And she was stage 4. And she said that she just, she started praying and asking, like, what do I need to do in order to beat this? And so she went all the way raw vegan, plant-based, right? And she said, but sugar, when she started doing her research on sugar, she said that she had found out through research, and this is stuff that we don't go read. Right. Yeah. Unless you're in the field, you don't go read this. But she went to read it, and she said she had figured out that through research, especially with as much research they do on like rats and stuff like that, and rodents, that every time they ate sugar, even though it lit up the brain, the cancer cells got excited too, and they multiplied it. And she said, so her sugar addiction, and that was in that moment, and she realized, she said that she had a sugar addiction so bad, she had to put sugar in the trash and pour chemicals on it not to eat it.
Wow, same thing.
And I was like, wait, what? I wish that I could remember what documentary this was. It was, I think I watched it at around 27 years old, and I was having panic attacks really bad to the point where I was in traffic and I had a panic attack and didn't know where I was. And I was literally on the highway that was right outside of my apartment complex. The sugar had me so gone.
Wow.
Yeah. It was, when I say I knew what it felt like to have dementia.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, I was like, if this is what dementia, Alzheimer's feel like, you literally driving, I have a panic attack. It was real for me. And I did not know where I was. I did not know where I was.
Happened to me.
I forgot where the fuck I was, like, where am I?
I was at a red light.
I was at a red
light, and it happened to me, and I was just like, when it turned green, it was like an out of body experience. I was like,
what the
where
fuck?
do I didn't even know whether to go straight turn. I didn't even know where I was.
And I literally it took me, I started driving down the street, and I was like, oh, okay, I know where I'm at. Just calm down. And I remember my mom telling me, because I had panic attacks all the time, but this time I had just had Dairy Queen. Literally, I had like this peanut butter parfait from Dairy Queen. I ate the whole thing, and that's when it happened.
Loaded with sugar,
fat, all types of shit, you know, hormones.
That dairy.
And she told me to point the stuff. She was like, so in order to send, you know, in order to remind your brain of where you are, point the things and name them. And I would like, okay, that's the house, that's this. And it would bring my brain, it would calm my brain down. And that's when I just started doing so much research on like health and wellness. And like, I kicked my sugar addiction. It was the hardest 6 weeks of my life. Like so I understand.
Yes.
Overstand.
Yes. Overstand.
What you're saying to that sugar addiction.
And understand. I don't do the bread. I don't do the pasta because all of that turns into sugar. I just don't. I mean, we got to get to the point to where when we have knowledge, that is like, it's a spiritual message. Yeah. It's a spiritual message. We have got to take heed and say, okay, if I see these sisters going through that, or if I read this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might need to look into myself and make that change. Because even though it doesn't affect a person today, it could in the future. And so it was just, and that was what I did. I took inventory on that. It was just so much. And I just was like, I can't even believe this. So I was not at all playing with the lifestyle, and still don't. Same thing when I was taking my children to the hospital when they were a lot younger. They knew me at the children urgent care. I mean, we in and out. And I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, I'm bringing my children to be healed. I shouldn't be back in here in 2 weeks, you know. Yeah. They weren't. I said, you know what? I don't care what's going on. When I'm going to dive deep. Like you said, you studied. Yeah. I studied herbs. I studied everything, how the body works. I read so many different, how they do the scientific articles on things. I read everything. I said, you know what? I cannot keep allowing and subjecting myself for somebody else to heal my children because they're not being healed. It's like a temporary Band-Aid. I changed my children's diet. It was so interesting when
how was that? Because my child,
they were younger,
rebelled.
So it was easy. It was really easy. Yeah. They were younger, and it was interesting because before I went vegan, I would say at the time, I had just took some jumbo shrimp out, and I wanted to make some shrimp pasta. After I finished watching the documentary Urban Kryptonite, when they said that
the shrimps are the roaches of the sea. Them shrimps, I
went in their refrigerator.
And they multiply like roaches. They eat like roaches. They eat dead bodies. Everything.
So no, that's not an option. I threw it all away. Like my youngest son, he has never had, McDonald's. He don't even know what that is. Like never, so I just made sure that I changed, especially with them, because they were going through so much. When I say they were not sick for years. So when you say the nebulizer and the asthma, the pump.
I went through the same thing with my son. I had to, we moved him out of Georgia because of that.
Yes.
We got him here, no sickness. Now he's in Africa. Yeah. Nothing.
Oh, absolutely not.
Everything's organically just like raised right there. So no problem.
Yes. And then you don't have to deal with the different chemicals in the food and things of that nature. So that's really what led to me becoming an herbalist, because I was like, I got to find some herbs, to heal my children. I remember taking my youngest to the doctor, and, at that age where they're like, 3, 4, they would get the ear infections a lot. And the doctor told me, well, I said, let me ask you something, because I ask questions. I said, how do you know, because the ear infection can come from bacterial or viral. I said, well, how do you know, when, because all they do, remember, is look at the ear with the
they just look inside. They don't test whether it's a virus or not. And so many people lose their hearing at young ages because of those viruses. Yeah, have to get stents in their ears. And,
and so she said, we don't. I said, well, I'm giving, but the medication. He's taking medication every 2 weeks because he's getting, antibiotics based on what you have diagnosed him with, but you don't know if it's viral or it's bacterial. And I was able to ask this question because I worked for a very well-known organization for over 12 years. And I knew that if it was viral, you don't treat it with antibiotics. You treat it with antibiotics if it's a bacterial. She said, we don't know. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait a couple days to see. I'm going to do what I do at home and wait a couple days to see. And, work on what because really, ear infection is really mucus in the it's sitting in the ear there. And so, when you start to, become ill of even like a cold or things like that, you really want to stop the intake of food, especially mucus forming foods.
I do that now.
Yeah. So if you have a cold, the flu, I don't care what kind of viruses it is at the time, you have to immediately stop eating
and start fasting.
You have to go into an immediate fast to be able to heal naturally. Yeah. And so I did that with him. It went away. That was the last time.
So you actually got your child to fast. Did they cry? Did the baby cry?
No, they didn't cry, because a lot of times when they're not feeling well, sometimes they don't really have a big appetite, which is a good thing. And then as long as they're eating like fruits and vegetables and fresh juices and things like that, and plus, it wasn't so bad because he's young at the time. And like I say, the appetite a lot of time decreases when a person is under the weather. They don't eat as much. So yeah, I just did that with it and changed their diet, and they wasn't sick. I said, this is what was causing ear infections and croup cough. They was naming so many things. I was just like, at this point, this is crazy, So now, my 15-year-old, he tells me, he's like, Mom, I'm a fast today.
My daughter does it too. Yeah. She done lost so much weight. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, Mom, I perform better with no food in my system. Me too. And I understand that. But most, the way we grew up, if you don't eat, you know what I'm saying? But my daughter's like, Mom, I don't get hungry until I'm done working. Yes. And then she comes home, she eats. And it could be, I'm talking about last night. She ate, I think it was like 9 o'clock was her last meal. She didn't have her next meal till 25 hours later. Yeah. And it's a small meal. Oh, so she's doing like what they would call like an OMAD diet. I know you don't like labels where it's like only 1 meal a day. Right. And she feels amazing. She's not getting sick. She's not having bad menstrual cycles anymore. Her grades are straight A's. Right. She, you know what I'm saying? And she's just like, Mom, I should have been listening to you for a long time. And I'm like, yeah I told you, and I'm like, sometimes because my work schedule, and then my husband, he's just such a bad influence because, I'm African. I don't get sick. And I'm like, you the sickest one out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you're just a bad influence on me. It's like a crackhead trying to get over crack and they best friend still smoke crack. But that's just how it is with my husband. So like, he's a bad influence on me. But for the most of the part, I do 80-20, Yes. But those self-love days, my husband be looking at me like, what you mean self-love? I'm here to love you. Like, what? Yes. No, dude, you are draining me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are draining. They don't understand. Like, well, I just loved on you last night. And it drained me. Yeah. Sometimes you don't be wanting to orgasm because it takes your energy.
And depending on how your day went, you're not even in the mood
Yes. They don't understand that. They thinking it's the healer of all things. I'm like,
yes, that is true.
Sir, no.
That is very true.
It is amazing.
Yes.
But sir, I got a lot of shit to do. So
yes.
And that's what I call him when I'm being sarcastic. Sir.
Yeah.
No. Yes. Like, so, but no, I understand exactly what you're saying. So like, you know, just to even see my child, like both of my children not, you know, suffer, because my son was in the hospital all the time.
Yes,
like I remember when he got that hands, mouth, and feet damn shit. And they couldn't tell me what it was. And my baby had ulcers on his tongue from daycare.
Yes, from the daycare.
And it's like, what is going on in this daycare? I'm like, I had a daughter that went to daycare. This shit didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
And he was getting everything but COVID.
Right.
During COVID.
Yeah. Like, I didn't get COVID either. My children didn't get COVID either. Yeah, we didn't do the mask, the big stick them in the, no.
Yeah, like I was just like, how the hell he got everything but COVID?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just at the urgent care. They don't know. He's healthy. No, he's healthy now. Like all organic, fresh fruit diet, all that stuff. And, you know, just being able to play. That's a big thing for children.
Absolutely.
Playing outside. You know, that's that's a part of detoxing, because that's their exercise.
That's right.
So that was a big thing. No play dates. Or like play dates. It's like, what the is a play date? Kids need to play all day, you know. So he doesn't have play dates no more, because he just wakes up, eats, go outside and play.
Right.
So, but no, like I like I said, I just love like when you're around and I get to talk to you, because it's like even that self-love day, because you know, like I got my show coming up and I'm like, I ain't doing nothing the day before the show, so I'm gonna need you to give me a list of what I need to do for my self-love day when I'm in Atlanta the day before.
Absolutely.
You know, so and, I can get
facials,
ready.
All kind of, you know, being creative. Always for me, sitting in nature, you know, connecting with nature, just many different things. I have a wellness journal coming out.
Really?
And in the wellness journal, yes, it's going to, you know, in the wellness journal, you'll be able to identify, like, it's like a bucket list. Creating a bucket list is just part of it, of self-love. You know, a bucket list, like we do bucket list of things that we want to do. Yeah. Self-love. These are some of the things.
I like that.
Yeah, that I want to do. And, you know, just because a colonic was one of the things, you know, that I wanted to do. Yeah. And so while I do on a regular basis, like enemas and Hold on. This is another thing that
Let me see. What you got?
I have gifts for you. Yes, this is my Empress cleanse. This is a all herbal cleanse.
Tea bags. Yes, so do I take this at night? Oh, it's all herbs.
I would say you can take it when you know that you're in a place to cleanse. Okay. Because it's like a colon cleanse. So you're going to cleanse with that. And that is one of the favorite with sisters that purchase my products is that particular tea, because it helps to keep the body entirely flushed. I mean, of course, you're going to get the benefits of the waist going down. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they, you know, you got the sisters that get it for the weight loss. And I have actually pictures on my website to show the weight loss.
I'm going to open this because I want to see what it looks like on the inside. I'm a big thing on like just how products look and
smell it too.
Oh, so they are bagged.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So this is enough. And so, okay, when I put this in my... Because I'm going to take one a night. Because I don't have nothing to do tomorrow. I mean, I have stuff to do, but it's all like from the house. But when I take it, so basically I just need to be, it's like an all day cleanse. Or is it like a couple days?
It depends on how long you want to cleanse. If you want to cleanse a day, you can. 2-3 days, you can.
But how many bags per day though?
Well, this is how you would just do one tea bag. And you can brew one tea bag with a cup of water until it goes down to a half a cup. Okay. Take a half a cup before your meals. That's the way that I do it. Take a half a cup before your meals, and then don't do no more than 2 tea bags a day, because one tea bag is really enough.
Okay.
And so 2 tea bags.
Amazing.
Yes, I love. That's how you know your herbs are fresh. You know, when they gonna really work. You know what I'm saying?
I would like to put these in my house, like as kind of like organic potpourri. Yeah.
And so you put it in your put it in a cup. And then you would drink it prior to your meal. But you know, like I said, cleanses you. So you want to make sure, you know, that you're in a place where you can be cleansed. And then I have my Poom Poom Balance.
Okay,
that is for women. And that helps with hormonal balance. Because I know you just had the baby and things of that nature not too long ago.
Oh, and it's all plants, red raspberry, burdock root, goji berry, and a proprietary herbal blend.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. And so I could take this at night.
I formulate these myself, so I create
and it smells good. So is this sort of like a probiotic too, or no?
It's not a probiotic. It's just completely herbs. So it helps with endocrine. It helps with the keeping the mood and the endocrine system in alignment. It helps with estrogen because we lose a lot of estrogen as we get up in age and after we, you know, give birth and things of that nature. So, and then this is the mood potion. It helps with stress, anxiety, depression. It just helps to relax you. Some people have insomnia. It's hard for them to really doze off. And so that's the mood potion. And that is one that I recommend when I work with my clients. They take that particular combination of herbs, but I say the work that we're doing is temporary so that you're not staying on any herbs.
Good.
Yeah, it's about just doing the work. Yeah, so that you're not just...
But this is just kind of like when you're in it.
When you're going through the process of healing yourself. It can help balance those emotions.
Well, thank you for my gift.
You're so welcome.
Like I said, I can't wait to get that list from you. I'm adding extra. Like, I'm just going to bombard you and be like, can you give me a list of things to do? I definitely want, because I've been wanting to try your meditation.
Yep.
Your husband has been like, you got to try Cece's meditation.
Yes.
And so I don't even know if you have time for me on March 7th.
Absolutely.
To do a guided meditation.
Yes, we can absolutely meditate.
Really? Is there a place that we can go? Because I know at my house they're not going to be quiet.
Yes, I'll identify a place. I actually meditated before I was in the
I know. Lobby. He told me. I was like, "Where's Cece?" He was like, she meditating.
Yeah, so let's do that. Let's meditate before your show in Atlanta.
Okay. Well, no, but thank you for everything. And like, I want to have more of these conversations with you. You know, and we could just take a particular just subject and just kind of hone in on it because, you know, the thing that I don't even do enough. And I know it's a lot of people in general that don't do enough. It's just like how detailed we are when it comes to, let's just say, knowing every place in our house.
Right.
But I don't know every place in my body. I don't know what needs to be cleaned out. I don't know. And just like the other day, I went and did a full. It was $600, but I went and got a whole. Like they took like 9 tubes of blood, and I'm measuring like what vitamins I have, what I'm lacking, what I need, and then my blood work for like just cholesterol, everything. Right. Yeah. And I just paid for that, not because I have a doctor's appointment, because I wanted to know for myself. Right. Absolutely. So I can know what I need to kind of get in and supplement with or give to my herbalist like you to say, hey, what would you recommend by seeing this? You know, and so it does take a little bit of time to get back, but like it's something that I'm like, I'm gonna start doing this every 6 months. Yes. And I did it. And then I did like a 4-day fast, water only. Like I told you, I did it wrong this time because I did not. I went in the sun and I stayed in the sun too long.
That'll do it.
I was like, why am I so fatigued? Yeah. And I'm like, all my electrolytes is just gone.
Yeah. Water or juices would have been perfect. Yeah. Because you would have constantly been pouring back into your body like if you would have had juices while you were sitting in the sun. But that sun hits different. That sun is heating up. I'm telling you.
It heated up. I felt amazing. But then when I got home, I was like, all right, hold on. Something ain't right here. What's going on? Like, because I had it was kind of like the last day of my fast, and it just whatever was left in there just pushed it out. So
it gave you something, but it also, it pushed it out as well.
Yeah. And that's okay, because like this machine that we got, it's always ever building. And so anything that just that last little bit I needed to push out, I pushed out, and I can replenish from scratch.
That's what I was about to say. Our bodies, we've been gifted with these bodies. They are a vehicle as we maneuver through the planet while we're here. And so we don't want to put trash and destroy our body, because this came to me the other day. What we eat is our future self. So what we put in our bodies is our future self. What we put on our bodies is our future self, because we're going to have to connect with whatever that is. You see what I'm saying? So if I put fruits and vegetables in my body and I'm doing physical activity every maybe 3 or 4 times out of the week, I'm in a good place of knowing when I'm in my 60s. You see what I'm saying? Where I should be.
Right.
You see, it's not about not, accepting that we have to transition one day. Yeah. It's about not suffering and not being in not being imbalanced and going to dialysis and taking, blood pressure medication, diabetes medication, cholesterol medication. I work with clients I actually just did a consultation with my mom, my stepmother, and my father. Like, we looking at our uncles and our aunts and our parents and our grandparents on like 4 or 5 different medications. They're tired. They're ready to come up off those medications. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, what is it that I need? So it's like bringing them all the way back to the basis. If somebody asks me today, what are the first steps that I should do to start transitioning my lifestyle? I would say, first of all, cut out breakfast. Don't eat breakfast. The standard American diet has taught us that breakfast is actually the name of a meal, and it is not. Our body is fasting.
Right.
Okay. If you feel like you just have to have something, it should be nothing more than fruit.
That juice is like what you got right there. Worked for me.
Or water.
That'll carry me all the way till lunch.
No.
Like,
me too.
Even past it.
Even past it.
Yeah, if I had 1 or
2, 3, it fills me up.
Yeah.
Don't eat any food. Get off of the pancakes. Get off of the one thing we have to realize is that we have been sold a lifestyle that does not identify with our body chemistry. It does not serve us. We are not operating in our higher selves because of the food that we are putting in our bodies. And so we think we are operating in our normal self. It goes back to not even knowing what that norm feels like for us, because we have been toxic since the womb. The body has been toxic since the womb.
Yeah, my mama smoke and drink with me.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I remember a sister saying, well, no, you can't. It was 2 sisters having a conversation. She was sharing with the sister that, no, I've had these, issues with my cycle since I was young. You were in the womb. The lifestyle wasn't right since the womb. Yeah. Because of that particular lifestyle that our parents had, it was projected onto us. Okay. And so this is the reason why we have fibroids. This is the reason why we have PCOS. This is the reason why our cycles are heavy. This is not because it's genetic. What's the only thing that's the same that is genetic from one person to another is the diet. So that's what's creating it. So when we honor our bodies and look at our bodies and say, okay, I want to respect my body. I don't want to just dump anything in my body, because we're going to suffer the consequences with that dairy, with that junk food, all of that. We suffering the consequences. And so when I work with sisters with like the fibroids, PCOS, and things like that, these are tumors. I'm not going to it's not about just taking the fibroid tea. I'm going to be honest. I tell them all the time, you have to change your lifestyle. Now, you have some sisters that say, well, I'm just going to take this in the meantime to manage my, symptoms because I'm not going to change my lifestyle. Well, okay, that's fine. You're being honest with yourself. Nothing wrong with that. But for sisters that's really naturally trying to not undergo surgery and change their lifestyle, it's going to require a lifestyle change.
Right.
It does, because what it is the tumor is just really it's mucus.
Yeah.
It's crystallized mucus, and the foods create the mucus. So to be able to soften those up, to be able to pass them through, the lifestyle then has to go back to more of a liquefied diet. Fruits and vegetables, and mainly juices, your green juices, your fruit juices, and things of that nature to be able to. And so the sisters call and they say, oh, I think they going down. They are going down. So you're not looking pregnant anymore. I mean, because some of these tumors are like 15 pounds,
Damn.
Yeah. And sometimes when the sisters that usually have the surgery, they were told they have maybe 3 and they have 15 of them. It just depends on the person. But they can feel their wounds being healed. They can feel the tumor shrinking because that's have become a part of them. When we put trash in our bodies, our body is very intelligent. It knows that it's foreign matter. So where is it going? It's going into a form of a boil. It's going into a form of a tumor. It's going into a form of a cyst. It's going into, ear infections, cancer, all kind of things, because it's just like, what is this? And so it shows up in so many different ways. Acne with the skin, just so many different ways. I remember when I started my business, it was sisters saying, you got something for the skin? I got bumps. You got something for the skin? And I'm like,
yeah. God made it.
But I'm saying, sis, when I do a consultation with you, you telling me you don't drink water.
Yeah.
I'm going to say right then and there, sis, them sodas is the issue.
I can never ever take no sodas. Ever since I was a kid, and so I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's so damaging to the body because it's a lot of sugar in it too. And so what I say is you have to remove the things that are causing the issue within the body, and you will start to see your body heal, because it's going to heal. Yeah, it's going to heal. And even if a person doesn't go as far as like raw, just eating a plate full of vegetables goes a long way. So I would tell people, first remove their the breakfast, choose fruits. Secondly, just plant foods. Third, lemon water. Warm lemon water every morning. I do it faithfully, been doing it for years. This helps to cut down on mucus. It clears up the skin. This is one of the things I recommend to my clients when they are detoxing. That's the tea that I just gave you. That's one of the teas that I give them to detox, along with another product that is actually a blood purifier. Because when you are detoxing, a lot of times you get bumps on your skin, and that's normal. But the reason why that occurs is because all of the toxins is just trying to find its way out. Yeah. So it comes out in the skin. Sometimes it comes out out in the vaginal area. Yeah. It comes out.
That's why I tend to exercise during my detoxes. Yes. And I do heavy, intense exercise where, because, I'm a CrossFitter. So, and I'm sweating. Yes. So I kick a lot of times for, a 7-day fast for someone like, regular who may only just go for a walk. Yes. A 4-day fast is a 7-day fast for me, because I've already, day 2, I'm already in autophagy. I'm already in, because I done sweated everything out. And so I lose a lot more faster than what somebody would do if they did a 7-day fast. Because I'm working
you're essentially doing that 3-day ends up to like a 7-day.
Pretty much, because I'm working out at HIIT level. I'm talking about high cardio athletic training at heart rate at 190, sprinting, doing everything. And people will be like, how do you do that? Right. Fasting, because my body is using the fat, okay, for energy. And I'm fueling myself off of ketones. And losing weight. So yeah, that's what they be like. They'll be laughing at me like, Tasha, you got a little food. I know, don't worry. I know how to get rid of it. Don't even worry about it. Quick. Mm-hmm. Okay. So while y'all running to the doctor, I got a 4-day surgery for you.
Long at all.
It does not take long. Mm-hmm. And listen, and if you even got a little bit more days, if you want to do the 7-day or the 14-day, shoot, we can knock off half your body weight. You know what I'm saying?
I did a 21-day juice fast.
How was that?
It was powerful.
I know it was powerful. Powerful. Your brain was probably like,
oh my God, Tasha.
People don't understand that brain.
Right now, I'm actually juicing.
Okay.
I did leading up to the interview. When I tell you, Tasha, that 21-day juice fast,
it is.
When you say natural high.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about your mental clarity. Man. You are so sharp.
Man.
That's why I said with that pain body, like, you don't even realize you can be really operating in a real, like,
it's like when I go on juice fast to water fast, like I said, I did this one completely wrong because this is the first one that I've done in Florida, like at this extent. I did the other ones like in different climates. So I did not consider, I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is Georgia, whatever. Yes. And I'm like, oh, this sun. And I just did power cleans and pull-ups and push-ups and running and coming back and doing the same thing. And then I'm riding a bike to the beach and I'm on water and I'm like, girl, like, you can't do that. You know,
you have so much energy.
Yes, and then when it hit you. But the mental sharpness, it's like I feel that besides learning a new language and fasting is when you could use all of your brain because you're tapping into different areas. Sharp. Oh my God, the ideas that I get, the energy, just oh man,
it's unbelievable. It's just like.
It's like another. It's like you going into another dimension. Like,
I be wanting to stay in that energy. I be like, I don't even want to go back to food. Like, I want this forever.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say. But a lot of times, what I would say, is for people that may be interested in fasting. That's one of my specialties. I work with clients to help detox their body. This is one of the things you're used to it. I'm used to it. But for the average person, depending on where they are at, and I have to say this, I have to be honest, get inspired by what we're discussing, but be careful because what goes on with the body is that when you'll know how toxic your body is by the second or third day, a person will know. The greater and intense the symptoms are, the more toxicity is trying to eliminate from the body. So we're talking about drugs, we're talking about alcohol, we're talking about prescription medications. We ain't even got to the food yet.
Yeah.
And the chemicals in the food. And so that's the reason why with the tea that helps with the colon, with the wild roots and berries that help with the blood. The bloodstream is trying to filter out the medications that a person took 5-10 years ago. And what happens is when people fast, I get this all the time. Well, I don't want to fast because I get dizzy. I don't want to fast because I get headaches.
That's a symptom. Like,
it's a symptom.
You're detoxing.
But what helps is that it has to be properly the herbs. So I would tell people to identify herbs that help to cleanse the blood, help to cleanse the lymphatic system, help to cleanse, all systems of the body. Because if we're not drinking enough water and enough fluids and different things, or depending on toxicity of the body, those things are just not being filtered out in a timely manner. And so don't stop the fast even when you're taking the herbs, because the herbs going to do what they're going to do. Because people stop because of the headaches and stuff.
Right. See, I tried, like I was just talking to a herbalist friend of mine, Yaki, and I was asking him, I said, with my work schedule and stuff, I want to start fasting more. He was like, well, I only want you doing 3 days because of the level of exercise that you are doing.
Yeah.
And I want you doing it at the beginning of every month. So you set the stage and the tone for, when you come into the end of the month, you know how your body gets depleted. You go on that fast, your energy raises again, and then you're healing yourself every time.
Every time.
And I noticed with been doing that, I don't get sick. Like, because my kid used to get me sick all the time. I'm like, I don't even get sick no more. My husband be sick. I drew COVID, all that shit. I don't get sick.
I don't get sick.
No. I was just like, but it wasn't until I started doing that consistently is when the sickness went away. So, and if I do get tired now, it's just basically fatigue. That's about it. Yeah. So, but that's a good thing. My body needs to go to sleep, you know.
Just need some rest.
But Cece, like, I mean, I can sit here and talk to you forever, and I want to, and I am gonna do it. And so, anything else you want to add before we close?
I do. I just want to share with your audience that they are welcome if they are interested in my work and need support with detox and cleansing, or any other health challenges that they have going on, or they know a family member that they are trying to assist with their health. Book a consultation.
Okay. Your website,
Cece Organics, CECE Organics with the S on the end. So it's cceorganics.com.
Okay.
And they can book a consultation with me. And I love working with people to detox them. You know, I love after the third and fourth day how good they feel. I mean, I'm
gonna do a detox with you. I haven't done a detox with you yet. Because I'm like, because everybody's detox is different.
It is.
It is. So I'm just kind of like where I don't have to think, okay, water only, that's easy for me. But I know if I get with you and you structure it for me, it's going to be easy for me to follow.
And it just, now I've never done a water only. I've only done juice.
Okay.
You've done the water only?
Yeah, that's all I do. It's amazing. I mean, it is a very come to kind of God moment because like
I know,
day 2
spiritually
is a bitch. Yeah. Like you're like,
spiritually.
I can't drink no more water because it tastes the same, and then you get anxious.
But it's still there serving you.
Let me tell you what I did. So this particular 4-day water fast that I did, day 2 was really, really hard for me. And it was hard because I was hungry, and then the level of exercise that I'm doing, so my body, I forced it into ketosis faster than it normally would. So it started eating. I could just tell because I'm looking in there. I'm like, eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm doing it for mental clarity too. Because anytime I got something big coming up, I want to be clear mentally. And so day 3, I have a new thing that I'm doing, and I was like, can I do this while I'm fasting? I don't want to tell them what it is, but I was like, can I do this while I'm fasting? And I said, you know what? Fuck it. So I ended up doing it.
Wonderful.
And day 3, and I'm like, but I'm going to be on, I think it's like almost 72 hours of fasting, and I got to go take this class. And I'm like, am I going to be mentally there?
Yeah.
And when I got there and I got into the work, it was as if nothing happened.
Absolutely.
Nothing. I was just like, I didn't even realize they had donuts, shit everywhere. They was like, oh, you want a drink? You want this? I was like, nope.
I'm good.
Let's go. And then they was just like, have you done this before? And I was like, no. I was lying though.
You vibrating so high.
Yeah. And then I realized like in that moment, I was just like, I don't need this from this facility because like, you know, I'm coming into a very, like, I'm fasting spiritually and I'm trying to receive all this information that y'all are giving, but with all this alcohol and sugar and the weed smoking, that defeated the purpose, but I was able to really get mentally what I came to get there, but I can't be surrounded with y'all because I take my craft very serious.
Right.
So I'm just like, but thank you so much for the, and then I find out that it was their last time doing that class and they weren't going to hold it no more. So I was like, well, look at God. So I ain't even got to come back, but I got what I needed. I got what I needed. And I was under a fast, which means I was all the way there mentally.
Exactly.
And then the 4th day I did it. I laid on the beach my 4th day just to kind of sunbathe and stuff. And then, like I just, with no social media.
No social media.
No social media. I do not fast doing social media.
Also, when you fast, you don't do any social media.
I don't do no internet, no nothing. And if I do the internet, I have a ghost post account, whereas, and I only follow holistic healers and other people that are fasting. Oh, yeah.
That's powerful. You already doing the work, sis.
But it's, mentally at the beginning of the month now, it's easy for me, and everybody knows that this is it. Yeah. So I don't necessarily get to go get a massage or, like a yoni steam or,
identifying yourself
or just finding a quiet space. Oh. That's important for me, the quiet space. And so, but I'm gonna start getting out early in the morning on the beach on that sand and just meditating down there naked.
Oh.
I just want to think
Have you ever fell asleep on the beach and taken it? I have. Sleep on the beach.
I sleep on my book bag. I just be
just
gone, right. So, but no, Cece, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. Anytime. I would like to say too, I'm on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So YouTube is Creatress Cece, and then Instagram is Cece Organics.
Okay, and we're gonna link all that below.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And now we gotta go. Just say bye.
Bye.
We did it. We finally did it because I was like, I need you on this podcast.
Yes,